another video. Welcome back to the channel, everybody. Today we're watching the originals. This episode 5 of season 3. Hopefully you guys are enjoying it so far. I do apologise if you can hear some of the rain in the background. It's absolutely smashing it down, which means it's a good day to watch the originals. Now, last episode was really interesting because I'm actually loving the introduction to this season. You know, we've not had many of our main characters that have been introduced, obviously in season 1 and 2, fully invested so far. So we've only seen Hayley a little bit, Jackson a little bit, CAMI a little bit, Vincent a little bit, and Davina a little bit, and no, Rebecca and Freya's not been in it much either. So that's 8 characters that I've just listed that have been heavily invested into the show so far, that have played a little bit of the season, because we've got new characters being introduced in Tristan, Aurora, and Lucian. Now, what is really interesting is we are told the sidelines are at war. Now, I'm assuming that it's 3 sidelines, Rebecca, Elijah, Klaus, but maybe not. It might only be Tristan and Lucian, that side, you know what I mean, them at war. So I'm excited to see how we play this out, because Tristan obviously is the leader of like a vampire community group, the Alphas, you know, the oldest, biggest, baddest vampires, and they collectively come together for one time in a year to celebrate, to party, and to do initiations, and they're called the Strix. And oh, I've got to say as well, potentially another character in Aya, so that's maybe 4 that are getting introduced, so I can't wait. But the person that was trying to initiate in the last episode was Marcel, and what's interesting about initiating Marcel is he is from Klaus's sideline, where everybody in the Strix so far is Elijah's sideline. Like we found out when he walked in the party and Hayley was like, why is everybody staring at you? And he said, look, kind of a big deal around here, you know, I am everybody's sire. And it's funny that, imagine that, because you know that you're untouchable, pretty much. You are untouchable at that party. You are literally the god of everybody, because you go down, everyone goes down. So I'm actually really enjoyed Hayley last episode. I think that she excels more when Jackson's not around, and that is because every time she's with Jackson, it's more of a family storyline. Her, Jackson, Hope, and then that results into being a kind of against Klaus, Elijah, Rebecca, you know, like she wants to distance them, she wants to keep Hope safe, which is totally fine. I get that. It's a mother instinct, you know, she feels like everything that's going on with them, she's best extracted. But I prefer Hayley just being part of the Michelsons, being part of the team, helping everybody out. That's what I was saying with Freya last season. You know, I was like, I'm still trying to figure out, is she good, is she bad? I just want her to be part of the group. I need a witch to be part of the Michelsons to help them out, because so far the witches like Davina and everybody over there have got kind of agenda against the vampires, which they have fair grounds for. The vampires didn't treat them well, Marcel anyway, when he was in charge. So I understand why they have them, but I visually just would like to see somebody helping the team out, which we have Freya doing right now, which is sick, mate. I'm actually really enjoying Freya this season. She's kind of like zen. She wants to just chill, be a human. You know, she's going to parties and all that, mate. She's just having a good time, and I'm enjoying it. But obviously with Hayley, like I said, I feel like she accelerates when Jackson's not around, when she's helping the team, and she did help the team, because part of Marcel's initiation was he had to find out who stole his daylight ring. Pretty much, if he didn't find out in a certain set amount of time, he would die, obviously. Now, we was introduced to, obviously, Aya. She was kind of walking him around the party, and she told us about this vampire over here, who pretty much feeds on other vampires, and he could go literally months without feeding, because that is, like, the strength that he wants. There's like no control, and what he does is he feeds on the people that he defeats in battle. Well, later on, they asked Tristan, was like, look, time's up, mate. Who's took your ring? And Marcel got it right. He was like, I took it. She took it, but hang on, she hasn't got it. She passed it over to him. He's the one that's got it. And he held it up, and he was like, smart guy. But then he had to fight. And obviously this guy is a proper warrior. And Marcel had his, you know, he had his work cut out for him. He was losing, but putting up a great fight. Actually, I've got to say, he's putting up a good fight. Now, this guy, Marcel, anticipated it from using the information from Aya saying to him that, you know, he feeds on the people that he defeats in battle. Boom, he went and bit Marcel's neck. It was bleeding. Marcel got one up on him. He was like, you must be feeling it now, the venom inside your veins, mate. I've been bit off a wolf. He had his wolf bite there, and that was Hayley. She helped him, you know. She's not going to stand there and let her friend go down. So that was like his leverage. He went over. Tristan was like, well, you could kill him. Now he's like, mate, I'm not going to kill him. I don't even know this guy. I'm not going to kill him to become part of your society. I don't kill innocent people. We have a rule here. We have a code. Vampires don't kill vampires. That is Marcel's code as well. I actually love how he stood by it. Tristan went over, smack, mate, ripped his heart out. He's like, trust me, this guy does deserve to die, which I'm interested in. Why does he deserve to die? I would like to know that. But we're saying this is why we like you, Marcel. You know, you built yourself from the ground up. You have morals, you have rules, you're a leader. You don't attack the innocent. Welcome to the Strix. Do you know what I'm saying, mate? It was really good. What's also very interesting is Tristan seems a lot like Elijah. He even said that in a conversation with Haley. He was saying, look, mate, we kind of made each other. We bounced off each other. We got each other's traits. And it's true, man. If you look, he's cool, calm, and collected like Elijah is. Hopefully, he's a bit of like... because Elijah tries to look at things objectively. Klaus does as well, but he lashes out a bit rationally sometimes. Klaus, obviously, because he lets his emotions get the best of him, where Elijah tries to stand back and look at it. And I feel like that's what Tristan is as well. Now, I'm not really a big fan of Tristan so far, but I'm actually enjoying everything that he's brought to the table right now. And you can look, like I said, he seems to be very much similar to his sire Elijah. And Lucien is very much like his sire Klaus, isn't he? He's like, he loves to go out and attack people. He's confident, you know. He thinks that he is the best. Like, he actually does think he's the best, Lucien, which is really funny. And he's quite paranoid as well. And what was interesting is his witch, was taken this episode, and that's what he was trying to get back. They found out that she was being held at the party. So what they done is Lucien and Klaus, they infiltrated it, but publicly. So they made it look like they was drunk. He probably was drunk, and they was making a scene. And while all this was happening, Freya snuck in through the back, trying to help her brothers out. That's what I'm loving Freya this season. Get in there. She went to find her. She's like, look, you're coming with me. Sat there. This witch was like, like, I'm sorry, I'm just scared. I know what's coming. I've seen Klaus's death, and I know the weapon. If you want to see it, feed. Pretty much Haley and Elijah went bitter. Then he started spitting it out. It's like, it's poison, it's poison. You know, this woman fell. She's died now. Lucian's fuming, screaming. I'm fuming because I didn't see the weapon. Who's killed her? Well, it's Aurora, mate. Literally, she was at the party. We didn't even clock it. She was obviously in a mask, the same as everybody else. That's why it's so good at those parties. Somebody can infiltrate it. She went over. She threw the poison in the bin, threw a mask in the bin, and walked down the street. And what I actually really enjoyed is Haley this episode grabbed somebody, I think it was at the very start, and she was like, you know, like, you're messing with them, but I'm a Michelson as well. And at the very end of the episode, she said something like to Elijah, I'm just thinking about how I'm going to tell Hope about this family. You know, we're all messed up, we're all strange, and it's going to be some mad stories. So she's acknowledging she is a Michelson, which I want. I want to be part of the team, like Freya's now part of the team. Jackson can be part of it as well, as long as you're not throwing bare shade into all the Michelsons and causing rifts. And I can't wait to find out more in today's episode. So hopefully, guys, enjoy it. And if you do, please smash a like, it really helps out the channel. Subscribe if you're new. And as always, let's jump into today's episode.
I never meant for you to know me. I never meant to let you in. But then I should not have kissed you.
I wish my hair looks as good as Klaus's one.
I am chained to certain hungers and have damned another to my fate. You have seen what we do. We kill. My family are the first. There is no name for it.
It was the most beautiful letter I'd ever received. But then eventually our love, like the letter, crumbled to dust. Deliver this, will you, with my special instruction.
Roses are red, lavender is blue. Come find me before I find you.
I mean, she's clearly found him. What I thought was interesting is that she was holding the vein. She was actually like stroking it. She's a vampire, isn't she? How's it not affecting her? Now I know that they drink it and stuff like that. So, but surely it still has some sort of like burny sensation towards him. That was a good note anyway. Roses are red, violets are blue. Come find me before I find you. That was sick.
Last time you even said her name was 1,000 years ago. You told me never to speak it again in your presence.
So I'm to wait till she leaves her little calling cards all over my home.
There's something you should know. When Mother seized control of my mind, Aurora was there.
Mother, there is nothing you could have done involving her that would be worse than what she did to me. We can kill Aurora together, and neither of us need play her little mind games ever again.
So there is an active serial killer at large, and the city's response is to throw a serial killer-themed festival.
As far as killers go, Axeman is the best this city's ever had. Now, some people think he was a vampire. He's actually a witch. The day he chose was Fetticado. That's the day that every witch gives a gift to the city in the hopes that the city gives one back. Now,
The witches are having their version of Christmas, which makes them all easy pickings for whoever our killer is.
speak of the devil.
How exactly do you intend to find her?
She'll leave a mark.
That was a good transition.
I fear I've not satisfied you. I'm not fragile, you know. You do not have to treat me so gently. Do to me what you did to Lucian.
You know not what you ask.
If I were like you, I would be beholden to no one.
You are perfect.
What sideline is she from? Like, I feel like she's from Elijah's. I feel like it's a brother. It's your brother. That's Sayaja. That's what I'm thinking. But I don't know, man. Like, literally. Who turned first, Tristan or Aurora? I would love to know that.
This mark that you speak of, see
gone.
nothing but it.
I knew you'd find me. Hello, my sweet love.
Yeah, this is well interesting.
Okay, I know this is sacred oil, but can we please not do that right now? Thanks for coming.
Like we had a choice, Davina. Either we do your bidding or you blow out that candle.
What do you want?
I need them to respect me, but this is the first public event
Since you had me kill those witches.
especially since Van Wen blames me for what happened to his mom.
You want us to be your bodyguards.
But if I die, that candle's magic dies, and then there's nothing stopping you from changing back into wolf.
I'll keep you alive. But if you wear that awful orange scarf, you'll wish that I hadn't.
I'll take a free holiday if you're offering. You look like she works at the airport, so you know what? Give me a flight wherever you want, sunny destination, get me away from the rain, Davina.
1,000 years. Looking at you now, it feels like yesterday. I noticed Elijah's not with you. Was he reluctant to tag along?
Raving about some ancient secret.
Well, I'm sure he would rather have his footstool than have me share that little secret. Truth is, I've never been with your brother, at least not in the way that you think.
Why are you here?
They celebrate Fet Decado. Made me remember that very intimate gift we gave each other.
These flashbacks are sick.
I always thought the day of one's birth was an event to be celebrated.
And yet I wish I had not been born. The day of my birth is no occasion for joy. My mother died giving birth to me. My first act on this earth was to kill the one who gave me life.
You believe you are cursed, but you are not alone. There is a thing that I have done, but I never told anybody. I killed my mother. She birthed me, once as a bastard, and then once as this thing I am now. Then she turned her back on me in shame. So I killed her, and I blamed her. My father, however broken you think you are not as broken as me.
You seek to repel me with our differences, but all I can see, you and I are the same. Never again shall we speak them to another soul, and never again will they have any power over us. Would you think it base of me to ask one more gift on my birthday?
To me.
Make me like you. I'm here for the same reason Lucien and Tristan are. Now, if you turned me that night like I'd asked,
It's not him.
I would be here to protect you. Where in the hell is Rebecca?
Rebecca's the sire, so it is the sire lines. Get in there, mate. That means either Sinclair's coming back or Claire Hall. Oh, I'm buzzing now, so it's true then. 3 sidelines: Aurora, Rebecca, Tristan, Elijah, and Lucian, Klaus. Now, I'm having none of the sires are dying. I'm just not having it. Unless the only thing I could say is either Sinclair dies as the witch, but she bounces over into the vampire body, which then would technically be one has died but still alive, because the witches can jump bodies. So then I would be interested to see what happens with that. It would be really good. Now, the conversation with CAMI and Vincent was interesting, obviously, what he was saying. And Vincent was wearing his belt buckle on his hip, on the right side, instead of being a centre. I've never seen that before. I thought it looked alright, to be honest. And the bit of information that Klaus had just released there, that he killed his mum, which is nothing new to us. Obviously, this is back in the day before everybody found out. But what he was saying is, as a result of killing his mum, his dad, he blamed it on his dad. So, like, he can't... I don't know if I've ever thought of this before or heard that. Maybe we have, and it's just flown over my head. But basically, he was saying he killed his mum and blamed his dad. And then, to me, the reason why they're running is the dad wants to come and get Klaus now for, framing him for killing, obviously, his wife. Now, when you look at it that way, it's kind of Klaus's fault that Michael is the person that he become, and the person that wanted to hunt down his children. And it kind of gives him a bit of hatred towards Klaus. Now, I understand when he died and Klaus said, "Why have you always hated me?" And he said, "Well, just because I have, mate." Do you know what I mean? Like, that is an absolute savage answer. But if it was because he found out Klaus was the one that killed his wife, killed his mum, and then tried to frame him, and he wanted to come and get revenge, then that makes total sense. So it's really interesting. Now, I'm actually happy that Klaus did turn Aurora then. because that means that Rebecca's coming back now, which has excited me, because like I've said, I've moaned at the end of every single episode, and now she's coming back. Get in.
Elijah, I didn't realize we had a meeting on the books today.
We don't. Recent events would suggest you've been less than forthcoming about threats facing my family.
Sure, I don't know what you're talking about.
I'm quite certain you do. I suspect Klaus is with your sister.
And you think I'm hiding her?
Where is she?
You that afraid of what my sister might have to say to your brother? But I know she can't be here. I'm the first person she'd come to.
I wouldn't be so sure about that.
The originals could compel people, can't they? Like, literally, I would just compel him.
Well, everybody likes a charismatic killer. Me know that better than most. You and Klaus, me and my psycho ex-wife.
No, no, what just happened?
CAMI. CAMI?
I've been dying to get you alone. This delicate little theater between us does need to reach a conclusion.
If you hurt me, I know a certain someone who won't react very well.
You think because you know someone like Klaus, you know someone like me?
Oh, wow, he's not attacking her.
You came all this way to protect Rebecca.
My fate is bound to hers. I should be allowed to protect her.
Oh, is she smart? Has she done it herself?
Stupid girl! Why would you do this to yourself? It's Tristan. Forbade me from seeing Nick Klaus. Everything inside of me was screaming. I had to let it out. My own mind is a demon that haunts me. You are never ill, and if you are wounded, you heal. Your torments of hunger and blood do not frighten me. We are cursed, but your curse is nothing compared to mine. Please go.
Oh, is she going to kill herself now?
I want to sleep.
She put all her eggs in one basket and it worked. I wonder how fast it is. She's going to kill herself. Nah, she's not jumping out that window. Oh, she might do. She jumps at the end of the last... Oh, mad. Question is, what's the worst way to die? Diving out that window, or just getting a blade and just bam, stabbing yourself or cutting your neck or something? Do you know what I mean? Like, I mean, both of them obviously got to have massive fucking balls to do it. But I think it'd be more harder to jump off a ledge and just free fall to hit the floor than it would be to just... Because right now I could just go boom, yeah, and I'd be in pain. But jumping off such height, it's mad. But also, I've just realised that I've been saying Rebecca's not in it. Like, I'm fuming. We could have had Rebecca. And she's actually been in loads of flashbacks, has she not? Literally. I was just thinking then when I was watching it, I was like, oh, there's Rebecca. And no, she has been in a few. She's in the first when they come, because she had to bend to the king. And she probably has been in all of the episodes. Now, obviously, I'm focusing on the present. That's how much, obviously, like... you obviously like drawn to different storylines. I've literally didn't even clock at all. So I'm interested. And these are going to sacrifice all these animals as well for Davina.
I'd like to thank the Gentili Coven for their generous gift on this day of Fête de Cadeau. I apologize. I need a minute.
Don't want to kill no animals.
Not a fan of goats, huh?
But do you know how many of them I've had to sacrifice? And you know what I really hate?
That choker scarf?
This choker scarf.
She needs to take it off and bandana it on her head and say, anyone messes with me, I'm going to do you in.
I wasn't okay with what you had me do to the Versailles Coven, but I'm guessing that you're not okay with it either. Do you know what I learned?
Be yourself, mate.
No one is gonna respect you until you show them who you really are. If you're gonna wear old lady choker scarves, you're gonna get old lady goats.
Old enough to drink now.
I don't do hunches. And yet I heard that little weasel's heart pound when I accused him of working with someone.
But he could be hiding something, and now you need my help. And I'm not blowing my cover just because you heard a guy's heart skip. I have my people trail your boy. Let's see what they find out.
It's good, Marcel.
You can always catch an insect with the smell of a flower.
And what draws a snake?
How you loathe me. So certain I've come to do you harm.
Ah, I do like it, man. I'm absolutely loving these flashbacks.
What have you done?
Remade myself into your equal. Do you remember what that first time felt like?
She's getting his head, mate.
Look me in the eye and tell me that you haven't thought about what we had. You want to know why I have come. I am here for you.
It's interesting, mate. As he fell for it or what, mate? There's a saying, mate, you can't bullshit a bullshitter. That is literally it, mate. And that's what she is. I feel like she's just a master of manipulation. Get inside your head, mate. Tell you what you want. She's good. She's actually really good. I've got to confess, right? when the show The Originals, obviously when he was introduced into the Vampire Diaries, he was called The Originals. I got it, I understood it, The Original Vampires, that's why he was called it. But when I was told he was getting a show of The Originals, I actually thought it was going to be these flashbacks, the original time they transitioned and how they move forward into the present. Do you know what I mean? I have no problems with what we've got. But that's what I actually thought it was going to be. When it was called The Originals, I thought it was going to be back in the day, when they first transitioned, how they lived, how they adapted. And I think that in its own self could be a whole entire new show. Like, I think I would watch it. I don't even know, I couldn't even tell you if I like the flashbacks better than the present. That's how good I think the flashbacks are. Now, obviously, it's one of them things, when you get teased when you get stuff in small doses, that's what when you get it. Too much of something is boring, and when you get something so good in small like packages, so to speak, you just want more and more. And that's what I feel these flashbacks. Yeah, we getting a few of them in each episode, but everyone is so good. It gives you so much information that like it just makes me love it even more.
There's nothing I could have done.
I could have.
What if I told you there was a way you could use magic without actually doing it?
You mean to tell me you just turned a corner? Right, so you found her after she'd been alone with the victim. Is that right?
Are you accusing me?
All I know is I used to have to call you to these crime scenes. Now here you are, part of one.
That is true. Detective work.
Hey! Come on!
I like that from Jackson. Much better than his other storylines.
We could have been the greatest love story ever told.
The night you left without me, you didn't even bother to look back.
The villagers talk of beasts who feed on blood, and if these country imbeciles know.
Father will come.
The world is bigger than this house. Let me show you.
How? As we hide?
Your brother has turned you from me.
I turn from you because I do not love you. But it's as if I see you clearly for the first time and I find you a cruel, wretched thing.
You don't mean that.
Your own mother turned against you. Then what hope is there for you?
And you swore that you would never speak of this.
And I could never love you.
She'd be dead in real life. In present day, she'd be gone, wouldn't she? Where's that come from, honestly?
In 1,000 years, no one has talked to me that way and lived.
Oh, wasn't I? Some might say uncharacteristically so. In the moments before you asked me to flee with you, I saw your brother.
You are not our blood!
What difference does blood make?
This is
when
why the first
I
final
know things
compulsion.
about him that you never will. I told him I wouldn't betray you. He just had one question.
Oh, it's gonna compel her. Yeah, that was so good.
Words I swore I would never tell to another living soul.
He killed her mother.
I swore I would keep his secret.
He lied to me.
And yet I love him in spite of it.
Yes! Deserve your love.
You must only see him as the monster that he truly is.
See him as the monster that he is.
Figured it. Yeah, so good.
When you came to me not minutes later, I had been compelled. And when he understood what he did not come and undo it.
Elijah's secret.
This is so good, honestly. And last season was sick, and not much action's happening here, but to me, it's just, I don't know. I think I'm enjoying this one better so far. To me, this is up there with the best one. Like, it's because it's so much information that's exciting me. Like, now, action-wise, last season was better, but we're only 5 episodes in, and who's to say that this season can either go downhill, it could get shitter, or it could get better. But so far, the introduction of all these characters, and you constantly, is Tristan bad? Is Lucian bad? Is Aurora bad? Do you know what I mean? Like, all of them, you've seen them do bad things, but then they're not that bad, because they're just vampires, and vampires do these things. But I think the backstories are making this season so much better. Look at it, mate. The first time you've seen somebody compel somebody, and Elijah was the one to break Klaus's heart. Now, he didn't kill the person that he loved like Klaus killed his, so you got to respect that. But would this truth have been better coming out of Elijah's mouth or Aurora's? How would Klaus have would he reacted different or not? Now, you can't really be that mad at Elijah because of what I just said. It was revenge. He killed their mum, lied to them. He's done the same, like, so to speak. But Elijah's going to tell you as well, so you can't make it like, I'm 50-50, timing's bad, she's really good, the backstory's good, I like how dedicated she was in the past to be with him. So, I mean, I want him to be with CAMI, of course I do. But I don't know, man. I'm absolutely loving it.
You tried to murder a regent, by which law you should be hanged.
Murder? Is that the first place your mind goes? Do you even know what I was using to attack you? Stab it in the heart and the victim must confess their darkest truths.
You wanted me to admit what I did to your mom.
Look, she's the one who attacked me.
So you think the Covens are better off with you?
I do. If you don't want peace, then fine, go. But I'm asking you, please stay.
I'd stay for a little bit, see how it goes, and if it didn't work, I'd leave then.
My guy stayed on Tristan's tail all day, followed him to this place called the Candide Roya. Never comes out. The building has hidden passageways leading out the back. And you'll never guess who just bought that storehouse, owned by one Lucian Castle.
Well, they've been working together the whole time.
Well, there's never been a prophecy witch spelling all of our doom until now. I know I killed her. And now I'm going to change the future she saw. That you would fall, because it just might be the one closest to you.
Nah, it's not Elijah. But we have been told 2 people have died now. We've been told Klaus has been seen dead, and she's just told us that Rebecca has been seen dead, and Elijah's not been told he's dead yet. How mad is that? So 2 of the 3, we've actually physically been told the prophecy's shown them dead. Madness.
Haley, I wanted to thank you. Since I became regent, I've tried to control everything. I don't want to be that person anymore. I asked the ancestors to give me the magic to lift your curse. They granted it. I'd rather have you as a friend.
Why didn't you tell me about it before?
Hey, Vincent, you want to check out my creepy collection of black magic knickknacks?
Property of Nulla PD, evidence in a murder case. Search warrant was easy. And the forensics from tonight's crime scene. Crazy thing. Only prints on the victim are yours. CAMI O'Connell, you're under arrest.
Go to Elijah. Ask him yourself. And when you do, come find me.
Better tell the truth, Elijah.
She told you. You speak to me of enemy when the greatest traitor of my life stands before me. What you did to Aurora, to me.
You set my course. I protected our family. Father was in pursuit. What was I supposed to do, Klaus?
You knew that your secret betrayal was the cause of everything I became.
I have carried you for centuries, Klaus.
You're teasing it.
Fight, so be it.
They're teasing it, man. They are teasing brother against brother, like, but it's not gonna happen. Like, family always and forever will prevail in the end. But got to say, Klaus cannot come in here, yeah, and say to Elijah, "Oh, you know, you betrayed me." It's like, mate, how many times have you done that, Klaus? Literally, you could probably count how many times Elijah's done it, and then 10 times it to yours. So you cannot blame somebody for doing something that you would happily have done as well. You know, how many times have you daggered your own family for the sake of saving them? That is literally what you say. I have daggered you for your own good. Do you know what I mean? Even he daggered Rebecca when she wanted to stay with Stefan. You know what I'm saying? Exactly the same. She wants to stay with him. Instead of him daggering her, he just compelled her to tell him to leave. Do you know what I mean? So, like, I am not going to blame Elijah for doing whatever's. Klaus is being kind of hypocritical there, trying to, like, shift all of Elijah's actions onto just solely him, as if to say, I've never done it before myself. But, got to say, information overload, CAMI being arrested, you know, we've got Davina and Haley working together. So far, not going against the vampires. Really big 2 thumbs up from me. Obviously, I don't mind them as long as they're not hating vampires. Then, obviously, we've got the backstories, which is absolutely sick. We've got 2 brothers fighting. What a sick episode. I've really enjoyed it. I think this has been sick. Good start to the season. So excited. I'm actually going to watch the next episode straight after this one. That's how much I enjoyed it. Aurora seems really good as well. I love how, like, she seemed dead loyal to Klaus in the past, and I'm intrigued in how we're going to progress in the future. And Tristan was saying to Elijah, mate, if I knew she was in town, she would come straight to me. I'd be the first one. Wouldn't be so sure of that, would you? Wouldn't be so sure. How good was that? And that's going to wrap up today's episode. Another great one. Loved it. You know, been saying that we've not had Rebecca in the season. And then I've just been like, I just clocked, mate, she's in most of the flashbacks. But I kind of want her in the present as well, which seems like it's coming because Aurora is sired from Rebecca. She wants to make sure she's safe the way Tristan wants to make sure Elijah's safe and Lucian wants to make sure Klaus is safe. Or is that true? Because Marcel said that his guys tailed Tristan into a house which he never, ever left. Where's he gone? Unless he's in there kipping for a couple of days. What's happened to him? Why has he not returned out? Well, he's done some digging again, which is actually really good, Marcel. He is an underrated asset. No wonder the Strix wanted him. He can get information that nobody else can. This tunnel's underneath there. They lead to somewhere. Where does it lead? To a place that Lucian has just bought. So what's happening? You know, where this is either one mad coincidence or they've been working together on the side, coming up with a plan to actually take somebody out, calling the truce. I don't know. I don't know how it's going to happen. Obviously, if Lucian's got a weapon, like we have been told, which we have not seen yet, and obviously some sort of weapon has killed Klaus in that witch's vision, which we didn't get to see. Been told Klaus is dead. This episode, Aurora expressed to Klaus, she's seen Rebecca dead. So that means that Elijah is the last man standing. And she kind of said to him as well, you know, get killed by a friend, a foe, and an enemy, or something like that. I think that is literally what they're saying. Maybe it's a person closest to you. Now, I don't think it is going to be Elijah. I 100% don't think it's going to be. I actually don't think any of them are going to die. But if it just, let's pretend someone is going to die. I don't think it's Elijah. I think that they're pushing it. They're making it really interesting. They're making it, I'd probably say, better, because you're constantly guessing then, you know, will they, won't they, what's going on, getting the fights between them, you know, brother and brother, kind of like Damon and Stefan when they go against each other. It's great, you know. The more you get of Elijah and Klaus together is better for the show, in my opinion. You know, like these two are the two best in terms of like chemistry, and but if we're talking like romantic chemistry, it's definitely Klaus and Camille, man. They have got the maddest tension ever. And, you know, is he going to pursue her or Aurora? I don't know. She even said to him at the end there, mate, look, maybe I'm the only one that you could trust, or something like that. Anyway, she said something like, you think that I'm against you, but I'm not. You'll realise that I'm on your side, which, again, is really interesting, because if she's on his side and she's obviously on her own side, that means that she's against Tristan's side, because you got to have one enemy, haven't you? And so who's she playing? Now, I was saying, like, she's one of them people where you can't bullshit a bullshitter. Do you know what I mean? But I don't know. The flashbacks are so good. You know, she wanted to turn. Klaus was refused to it. She put all her eggs in one basket. It worked. She killed herself, or she attempted. Well, she did, or she harmed herself. Rebecca found her, ran in, give her blood. You silly girl, what are you doing? You know, you got all this, your life ahead of you. Well, your pain is not my pain, you know. Like, I've seen you going around, you can heal, you know. You can push things off, you got abilities. You're fast, you can feed, you're gonna live forever. Me, you know, I'm suffering, got all this pain or whatnot, just leave me alone, I would like to sleep. She goes out, boom, out the window, killed herself, you know. That must be her trademark, dive out of windows or whatnot, because obviously we've seen it when she was with the monks and she left. She stood on the edge and she just flopped off there as well. Didn't see Freya once this episode. Interesting. You know, I do like Vincent and Camille together. It's mad how they tag team them up. You know, let's utilise them. I think they're actually really, really good. And Camille as well, man. The police officer, you can't blame him. Put two and two together. I'm not saying he's correct. He's obviously not correct. 100% wrong. But he was like, look, you know, you've been at all the crime scenes and now we're finding a body with only your fingerprints on and only you there with no witnesses that can talk about where you was and prove that your whereabouts. You know, you're now a part of the investigation. You're a suspect, so I'm going to have to take you in. And this house is now the property of the police. Now, what's interesting is that obviously she's not going to get done for it, and they're going to go and someone's going to compel the police to let her out or whatever, or just factually she's going to win the case. Obviously, it's not her, and she would never get sent down for it. But they may get some sort of objects or information out of this place from her, obviously, her uncle, that they don't want to be disclosed. So, I mean, that's really good. I wonder if Vincent now is going to start practicing magic again. He said he don't want to do it. And she said there was a way for him to do magic without actually physically doing it. Didn't get told what that was. Haley, as well. She has been, freed. Her and Jackson have been freed from Davina. She give Davina some good advice, saying, you know, if you want to lead these people, you lead these people as you as a leader, not somebody else. You don't take over what they're doing. Do you know what I mean? Like, that is true. You don't pretend to be somebody just so everybody likes you. You either be yourself and everybody hates you, or be yourself and everybody likes you. You don't put a fake personality on. You know, it's just like me coming on here making these videos and just being not me. You know, trying to put an accent on or trying to fake react or try. Just be yourself. People like it, they like it. Fantastic. People don't like it, they dislike it. You know, whatever. You know, that's literally it. If you don't like me, fine. I'm not going to sit here crying. I've got people that do enjoy it, got people that don't. That is just the course of life, isn't it? People like you, people don't. Be yourself, that's it. You know, if you be yourself, get to the top of the world, at least you've been true to who you are. Be yourself and everybody hates you and you sunk down at the bottom again. Been yourself, don't change for nobody. That's good advice from Haley. Davina's took it. She said, you know what, I'm glad somebody's told me that. I needed to see that. I needed some sort of reality check. There you go, candles out, you could be yourself. I'd rather us be friends than kind of be like, I don't even know, like you kind of working underneath me. Maybe Haley wants to stay around. And I've got to say, witches having a storyline with the witches is much better than the witches all in, like, let's take down the vampires, in my personal opinion, because the vampire story is actually so good right now that we don't need the witches coming in and just dabbling in their little, like, you know, I don't like you here, you're doing my head in, let's take Klaus out. It's like, don't need that. Let's give them their own storyline, which we are kind of doing with Camille and Vincent as well. Yeah, okay, they're kind of using Lucien as a bit of what's going on, but they're not really involved in the Sire storyline, but they're involved in the story with the vampires. So this is what's really good, actually. We're heavily focusing on the originals and the Sires, and then we've got these two characters integrating in, dabbling, getting a bit of info, and then we've got these other characters who are not involved in that story at all in their own, and that makes it way better because everybody has got a relevant thing going on, and we're not throwing too much personnel into one story and overloading it and getting it, you know, bit too much, bit messy. So I'm enjoying it. How's CAMI getting out of it? Is Klaus going to go and try and save her? Which I think he will in the end if something badly was going to happen. But now I don't know if it's going on with Elijah, if his head's going to be like spinning and he's not going to have time to obviously focus on what's going on. But again, it's just in working with Lucien. I don't know. What's a weapon? Really want to know. Is the prophecy correct that Elijah is the last man standing because Klaus is dead and Rebecca's dead? That's what we've been told. Aurora, is she bad or is she good? Is she going to align with Klaus? Is she not? What's happening with Elijah? Mad. Great episode. Thanks so much for clicking on today's video. Really excited. Definitely going to watch the next one right after this. So thank you so much, everyone. If you did enjoy today's video, please smash a like. It really helps out the channel. Subscribe if you're new. And as always, I'll catch you in the next one. Cheers, guys.